Now, I thought Lamont won. Who you thought won? Lamont.
You thought Lamont won? By how many rounds?
I don't know.
You still want the Tank Davis fight?
So what?
You still want the Tank Davis fight? What went wrong? What went wrong? Take out a little steam or fire out of me, or is it still the same?
I mean, we're gonna see. I'm the best fighter in boxing. I've been saying this, so.
Shakur, what went wrong for Gervonta in this fight? Just because, could we say maybe because Lamont didn't come in, they really...
I think he got overconfident. I think he was thinking Lamont wasn't that good. I told everybody how the fight was gonna go. The fight went exactly how I said. Exactly.
After seeing this performance from Gervonta, do you believe your confidence has gone a little bit more up?
My confidence been up. I've been knew I was the best.
Keyshawn, what's your worst for Keyshawn? He just won his first title.
The boxing world is shocked to its core. Gervonta Davis, one of the sport's biggest superstars, was expected to walk through Lamont Roach. The odds, heavily stacked in Tank's favor. The predictions? Another knockout added to the highlight reel. The storyline? Another victim, another paycheck, another undefeated record intact.
114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
That means to do it again. Bring that money.
Tank Davis. The first one is the unbeaten record. A very interesting fight. What was your opinion of the decision by the judges?
I think I pulled it out for the last three rounds. For sure, I think I pulled it out for the last 3 rounds. I was catching with some clean shots. I felt like I was breaking down as the round was going on, but we got it.
But what just happened inside the Barclays Center on Saturday night was something no one saw coming. Lamont Roach didn't just survive. He didn't just make it competitive. He outworked Tank. He landed more punches. He controlled the pace. He pushed one of the most feared punchers in boxing to his absolute limit. And when the final bell rang, the judges, they couldn't even give Tank the win outright. The result? A majority draw. That's right. For the first time in his career, Tank Davis walks away from a fight without a clean victory. And to make things even crazier, most boxing pros are saying Roach should have won. Oh, and let's not forget the wildest moment of the night. Round 9, when Tank took a knee and rushed to his corner. But somehow, it wasn't called a knockdown. This fight was chaotic, controversial, and it's got the entire boxing world divided. Let's break it down.
All right. It's Kevin Garcia, a.k.a. the Puerto Rican Kid KG. I got my man Pitbull, Isaac Cruz with me. I'm going to translate my questions so you guys can understand some of his answers. La primera pregunta, Isaac, es muy fácil. ¿Qué pensaste de la decisión entre Tank y Lamont? What did you think? What did you think about the momentito para trasladar? What did he think about the decision between Tank and Lamont?
Bueno, fue una decisión sorprendente, del cual pues creo que yo vi un poco superior a Roach, y bueno, los jueces no contaron la caída que le hizo Roach, ni tampoco al referee, pero bueno, dio un gran trabajo y una gran pelea para el público.
Who do you think won? ¿Quién tú pensaste ganó la pelea?
Pues estuvo muy cerrada, pero yo creo que un poco siento que se la pudo haber llevado Roach.
Roach. Cuando ves when you see the fight, Isaac, do you see anything that makes you think, damn, I wish I would have done something different when we fought? Cuando ves la pelea, piensas por un momento como que posiblemente podría hacer algo diferente cuando yo le peleé a él para sacarla, para ganar la pelea.
Sí, totalmente. Ahora sí que tengo que estar al filo de la butaca, ¿no? Al pie del cañón, para poder ver qué ir mejorando para cuando se llegue la revancha, pensar en un mejor trabajo y no tener margen de error.
There you go. So basically, he just says he went for Roach, you know, to win the fight. It was a close decision, but you know, he did have Roach winning, and ultimately, in terms of himself, you know, he thinks that if he were to get the rematch, he just wouldn't allow it to end in the judges' hands. Like, it wouldn't be a close decision next time.
And what did you think about Ryu? I know Ryu lost to Gary Russell. You fought him last time. What's your thoughts on Ryu? Bueno, yo esperaba ver a un Rayo igual corriendo como lo hizo contra mí, pero creo que como se lo acabo de decir al compañero de ustedes, ¿no? Le dieron una probada de su propio chocolate y bueno, lo hicieron ver sumamente mal. Y bueno, creo que no es de que yo lo diga, pero pues ahí está la pelea que dio Rayo ahorita ante un peleador que le huyó y que le metió las manos todos los rounds y Rayo no ganó ni un round.
He basically said, you know, he thought Rayo was going to run like he did when they fought, but he got a taste of his own medicine. He got a guy that was really in front of him, throwing blows. And, perdóname, Isaac, ¿cuál fue la última parte que dijiste?
Que no vi ganar ni un round a Rayo.
Yeah, that he didn't even win the round. Bottom line.
You're welcome.
Gracias, Isaac, por tu tiempo. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Most boxing pros pulled up to the arena thinking this was going to be light work for Tank. Terrence Crawford, Shakur Stevenson, Danny Garcia, Isaac Cruz, all of them were riding with Tank heavy. They thought Roach was just another name on the list, another body for Tank to knock out and move on from. But the second that final bell rang, everything changed.
Hey, Boo Boo, you think I can get your thoughts on the fight? What'd you think about the performance? You thought it was a fair decision?
Yeah, definitely, man. I thought they both put it out there. Roach definitely showed up and you know, did his thing. But Gervonta Davis is the champ, and it takes, you know, a lot to be able to beat the champ. But Roach definitely had something that we all wasn't expecting. Right in the power, his combinations as well. He definitely came to fight, man. He got great skills, and it was a great fight overall.
There was a moment where it seemed like he was kind of like bullying the bully. You think that was kind of a part of the
tactic?
tactic?
I was surprised too because Roach is a little bigger than I thought. You know, I didn't think he was going to be able to do what he did. But he ended up doing it, man. Congratulations to both fighters for making it happen and stepping up to the plate. And man, they went toe-to-toe at times, so it was great. It was great.
You think if they do a rematch, it'll be kind of a similar fight, or you think one will be able to
I think it'll be a little different. I think it'll be a little different. You know, similar but a little different. I think there'll be a little bit more aggression this time, next time around. You know, so, you know, I think there's like more spots they could have picked early on, but they didn't. Like I said, Roach might have power that he was catching them clean. Gervonta looked like the shits was whatever, but he definitely came back to like showcase his skills and hot as well as digging some body shots and stuff like that. But man, it was a good fight overall.
My last question, you know, obviously we got to do the rematch, but people are probably going to bring up Shakur. Shakur is here. Does that make that fight lean a little bit more into the other side now, or is it still at 50-50?
Meaning that Shakur Stevenson could beat Tank Davis?
Or vice versa, you know, because that was originally the fight. Now the rematch makes more sense to do right now, but does Shakur have a bigger edge now? You've seen some cracks?
You know, styles make fight, spirit, energy, is also plays a big factor in like fight style. Roach's energy and spirit was to come to fight and show like he wasn't scared of whatever and throw punches. Shakur's a little different. I don't think he's gonna be moving for it. His last fight took him a long time to like, you know, stop the guy who shouldn't have been in here. Be in the ring with him for like 5 rounds, should I say. But no disrespect to anybody. But yeah, that's what it is.
Awesome. Any update on when you're coming back?
Soon, man. As soon as Edgar, Plant, any of the motherfuckers grab their cojones and want to fight, we can make this shit happen.
Awesome. Appreciate it for the time.
These same pros who thought Roach didn't stand a chance were now saying he won in a landslide. They couldn't believe the scorecards. They couldn't believe the judges gave Tank a draw. Some of them straight up called it a robbery.
Yo, Danny, what do you think about the fight? Hey, Danny, what do you think about the fight, man? Was that a good decision?
Hey, Lamont came to fight. You can't take no credit away from him. I think Tank had a little off night a little bit. He was off a little bit tonight. But Tank, I mean, Lamont came to fight. You can't take none away from him. He earned that tonight.
Would you want a rematch and you think it'll go differently?
I don't know.
Awesome, appreciate it, champ.
Last one.
Roach outworked him, outlanded him, and controlled the fight. Even Pitbull Cruz, who has zero love for Roach, had to admit Tank got outperformed. And when guys like Crawford and Shakur, who actually know what it takes to dominate at the highest level, are saying Roach deserved that W, yeah, that tells you everything you need to know.
All right. Okay, this is Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. I'm here with Chris Algieri. What's your first reaction to Tank's performance?
I mean, definitely an off night for Tank, but Lamont Roach is the guy, man. He showed up, and Tank gave him a tremendous amount of respect in the fight, and we saw why. I mean, he's a great counterpuncher, he's very high boxing IQ. He always says, I hit harder than people think, I hit harder than my record says. He stunned Tank several times. You know, Tank looked like the guy with the heavier hands, but Lamont had the better chin. So it's all relative, you know. So if Tank hits real hard, but the guy can take it, doesn't really matter. And I thought Roach was brilliant tonight. He had a good game plan, but those early rounds are what haunts him. He's gonna lay up at night that he wasn't a little more aggressive early on, because early on there wasn't much going on. There was time for him to take places for him to steal those rounds. And obviously he didn't. I want to see what the official scorecard breakdown was and how they had everybody in which direction and which rounds. But I mean, super close fight. I could have edged it for Tank. Lamont obviously had great rounds. He was able to wobble Tank a few times. He got wobbled himself one time with a right hook, but I don't know, man.
Rate the
Roach won the
performance.
story.
Roach won the story.
Roach won the story. He didn't get the win, but he won the story.
Absolutely. Now, Shakur Stevenson is in the building. He's in attendance. Is that the next fight for him? And now, after this performance, how does Shakur
The next
fare
fight's a
against
rematch.
Tank?
The next fight's a rematch.
Definitely.
Gotta be a rematch. Gotta be.
But what if it doesn't happen and Shakur is here? How do you like that fight, Chris? I've heard you speak about it many times.
I mean,
the defensiveness
I
of...
I was always Shakur. I would be even more Shakur now. You know, Tank was loading up a lot tonight. If he goes out there and fights like that, Shakur's gonna piece him up. But there's versions of Tank that he's a super dangerous guy. But that guy didn't show up tonight.
Definitely. Who do you lean towards, Shakur and Tank?
I've always leaned towards Shakur.
Keyshawn and Tank, how do you go?
I think Keyshawn needs more development. I know he looked fantastic his last fight and his last couple fights, but I need to see more of him at this level.
Absolutely. Chris Algieri, Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. Thank you so much for your time. Chris.
All right, let's break this down round by round, because Roach wasn't just surviving, he was outworking Tank the whole fight. Rounds 1 through 4, Tank was doing his usual thing, staying patient, looking for that one big counter shot to end the night early. But Roach, he didn't back down. He came in with a game plan. Stay active, pump the jab, and never let Tank get comfortable. And it was working. He was landing clean shots, slipping Tank's counters, and setting the tone. By the time they hit round 4, Tank had barely gotten out of first gear, and Roach was already racking up points. Then came rounds 5 to 8, where everyone thought, all right, Tank is gonna wake up now. This is usually where he starts breaking opponents down, walking them into traps, and setting up that nasty power shot. But instead, Roach kept pressing forward, throwing more punches, and keeping Tank guessing. The dude was on full beast mode, and you could see the frustration building in Tank. His usual game of reading, calculating, and then punishing wasn't working, because Roach wasn't giving him the openings he wanted. But then, round 9, and this is where things got straight up insane. Roach landed a huge shot that had Tank stumbling, and for the first time in the fight, you could see real trouble in Tank's eyes. And then, Tank took a knee. He literally dropped down, rushed to his corner, and the ref didn't call it a knockdown. Like, what? If any other fighter takes a knee mid-round, that's an automatic 10-8 round. No debate. But because it was Tank, the ref let it slide. And this wasn't some random fall or slip. Tank was hurt. He later said it was because hair grease got in his eye. Seriously? Hair grease? Look, whether that's true or not, the fact is, he voluntarily went down. Roach should have gotten a knockdown, if not a full KO, because, let's be real, if the ref had stepped in and started counting, Tank might not have beaten the count. Rounds 10 to 12, Tank started swinging big, knowing he might be down on the cards, but Roach kept his composure. He stayed smart, never let Tank bully him, and continued landing shots. Even in the final round, when Tank was clearly looking for a dramatic finish, Roach never folded. And when the final bell rang, the entire arena knew. This was a fight Roach should have won.
Cards. Judge at the ringside, Eric Marlinsky scores about 115 to 113 in favor of Gervonta Davis. Judges Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman both scored about 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
But the judges? 115-113 Davis, 114-114, 114-114. A majority draw.
It's Johnny Boy Boxing at Fight Hype. I'm here with the legendary Jim Lampley. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
You've given me great interviews in the past. Talk to me about the reaction to Tank's performance tonight.
Well, in the early rounds, it was as though Tank was doing what he does and setting up a possible knockout or a probable knockout, which was what most people expected to see. And then over the course of the next several rounds, you saw that maybe the opponent, Lamont Roach, actually got stronger, moving up 5 pounds to 135 pounds. He was able to take Tank's shots without ever really being in any serious trouble. That, I think, was unusual and disconcerting for Tank. He got a little desperate in the late rounds and began throwing much more than is normally the case. It created action, it created excitement, there was tension in the audience. It was a memorable fight, and I want to see a rematch as rapidly as a rematch can be made.
Now, I would like to see a rematch as well, but there was a guy named Shakur Stevenson here in the corner checking out Tank Davis. What do you think of that fight? If Lamont Roach if Tank won't fight the rematch, what happens with him and Shakur? How do you see that fight
Stevenson has a reputation as being the best defender in the division. He is a feared fighter because of that particular quality. If I'm Tank Davis and I'm coming off a disappointment in terms of my offensive output, I'm not going straight to the best defender in the division. I'm looking for some other fight, and I think the logical fight for him is a rematch with Lamont Roach. Let's see it again. Let's see if Roach can go ahead and capitalize on what he showed here tonight, which is he was a much better fighter at 135 pounds than most of us expected him to be.
Okay, who do you lean towards in Gervonta versus Shakur if that does happen? Who are you favoring?
Bro, how? When you land more punches, control the fight, and have your opponent literally taking a knee mid-round, how do you not get the W? That round 9 moment should have been the turning point that sealed Roach's victory. Instead, it got brushed under the rug like it never even happened. This wasn't just a competitive fight, this was a fight Roach should have won. And if the ref had done his job in round 9, we might be talking about a new WBA lightweight champion right now.
114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is a majority draw.
If there was any doubt about who really won this fight, just listen to the crowd. The second the scorecards were announced, boos rained down from every corner of the Barclays Center. Fans, who at the start of the night were there for Tank, rocking his merch, chanting his name, completely flipped after watching Roach outwork him for 12 rounds. They saw the same thing the boxing pros saw. Roach landed more, controlled the fight, and should have walked out with the belt. And when the judges gave Tank a draw, the entire arena exploded in outrage. Some fans were straight up yelling at the ring, others were throwing their hands up in disbelief, and you could literally see people shaking their heads in disgust. Even Tank's own supporters weren't defending the decision. A fight this controversial, you already know we need a rematch. And guess what? Both Tank and Roach want it. Tank knows he could have done better. He admitted he wasn't at his best and wants to prove he's still that guy.
I mean, obviously I want to go back and watch it, but clearly in the end, I thought I did enough to get the victory over a spectacular fighter. I told y'all from the beginning, man, that I got the skills to pay the motherfucking bills. I've been telling y'all that. And I'm just glad I got to show it, honestly. I'm glad I got to show it. I appreciate, like I said before, I appreciate true boxing media. Some guys that didn't count me out. So, that's just how I feel, man. I think I won. And, I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to dance again.
All right, guys, raise your hand. We'll get you a mic.
He's not the type to let a fight like this stain his record. And you can bet he's going to come back with something to prove. But Roach? Bro, he's hungry. He truly believes he won this fight. And if they run it back, he's confident he'll leave no doubt this time. No bad scorecards, no controversy. Just the real winner standing tall.
Yo, Jake! Jake, my guy. Yo, Jake! Jake!
At the end of the day, this fight shocked the world. Nobody expected Lamont Roach to push Tank Davis to the limit like that, and yet, here we are, talking about a majority draw that probably should have been a Roach victory. The fans know it, the pros know it. Even Tank himself knows he didn't put on his best performance. And with all the controversy surrounding that round 9 knee and the sketchy scorecards, one thing is clear. This story isn't finished. So what do y'all think? Was this a robbery? Does Roach deserve that belt? And who takes it in the rematch? Hit the comments and let's talk about it. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown like this. I'll see you in the next one.